Yes! Alrighty! What's up, everybody? It is I, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a beautiful Thursday night video, because it's now dark. So, we're going to call it a Thursday night video right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 66. Now, and as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down there in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. Share the video over the internet. Leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, the present, and the future, Conan. So, do it now. Don't leave stupid comments, because you'll get pretty much shot and placed in an Iron Maiden. And then, after that, Ozzy and Satan will come out and eat your soul. So, don't do that. Don't leave stupid comments. You're going to get treated like a little bitch, and you're going to get put in the corner. You're a little baby. And then you're going to get punished, and the punishment is getting off my channel. You're going to get blocked, and you're going to get sent to the Shadow Realm, and you will never be heard from again. So, don't do it. If you want to do it on your dead channel with minimal subs that nobody cares about. I ain't gonna do it on mine. So, that's that. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell to turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, well, you're pretty much SOL. I think you all know what that means by now, and if you don't, look it up. And that's all I gotta say about that. And for our first-time viewers, or if you're just floating around YouTube at this time of night, and you see my gorgeous, sexy face, because you know you love it. And that's that. But if you're floating around YouTube and you see one of my videos and you want to know all about me, because I'm a wild and crazy guy. But if you're here for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, you're thinking about subscribing, please subscribe. And if you want more, hit that bell and subscribe to my other channels. Lots of content coming on those channels as well. But when you do subscribe, as we say in the business, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab that tasty cold one, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. And if you like it, great. You don't, there's the door. Don't let it hit your smelly, fat ass on the way out. Just go watch somebody else. I don't care either way. But thank you for viewing. Anyway, if you do watch and then leave, counts as a view. Thank you. So it is what it is. Alright, so like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good shit. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday night. You know what that means. We got TNA Impact Wrestling coming up in a little bit. Along with Ring of Honor. Should be a pretty good week of shows as we're getting closer. Well, for TNA purposes, we're getting on the road to Bound for Glory. I think we hit Victory Road. Already. I might have missed it. I don't know, but anyway. Yeah, Victory Road's coming up soon, and then Bound for Glory. So, we'll see what happens with that. Now let me actually... I don't have my phone. Alright, let me see, maybe... Not Bound. What am I... Let me see when... I think Victory Road's is actually tomorrow. No, it's next Friday. Next Friday night, Victory Road for TNA. And then, we're on the road to Bound for Glory, which should be an epic show for TNA. Pretty much their semi-WrestleMania. It basically is their WrestleMania for TNA purposes. So we'll see what happens with that. I think we're on the road to Mike Santana, Trick Willie, one-on-one. Get Joe Hendry away from the title scene. Just do it one-on-one. I think, and I've said this pretty much since the summer, that Mike Santana was going to win. I wanted him to win at Slammiversary, but you throw Joe Hendry in. I'm like, man. I still had him to win, but obviously he did not. Thank you, Joe Hendry, you fucking piece of shit. But now, it's one-on-one. Hopefully we don't get, first class fucking around either. But I think Mike Santana is going to win at Bound for Glory. It would have been nice for him to win in New York, his hometown, but is going to win somewhere else, but it's going to be a bound for glory. And the reign of Trick Willie will pretty much end, and then we'll see what Trick Willie does as we go into the end of the year and into 2026. He might be in the Royal Rumble. That would be nice, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. As far as Ring of Honor goes, we're just rolling on. That's all. We got nothing really to talk about for Ring of Honor purposes, but we will move on. Man, I forgot to silence my phone so I don't get notifications from people and that's that. Anyway, before we get to TNA tonight, let's talk about last week's show, and I'm a little bit backed up with that, so let's get to last week's show. We're going to do some TNA, Impact Wrestling, and Ring of Honor from last week. Thoughts, you understand? Thoughts. So, thoughts from last week's show. September the 11th, a great day, well, not so great day in history. We all know what happened on September 11th, 24 years ago. Next year will be the 25th anniversary. Wow. Time flies, huh? That's going to be a special day, the 25th anniversary. There'll be lots of things happening in New York City around September 2026. So, but we'll get there eventually. We're not even done with 2025 yet. And we got 3 days left of summer. Today was a pretty hot day. Tomorrow's going to be a hot day, 81, 82 degrees. And then it gets a little cool, get a little taste of fall this weekend and Monday, which is the official start of fall. And then a little, pretty much a roller coaster all next week. We do have a couple 75, 80 degree days, and then next weekend it's going to rain like crazy. Which isn't fun, but, plans have to change because the rain, I don't think it's going to rain that bad. I don't think it's going to be a big washout, but, we'll see what happens with that. We move on. Alright, let's quickly get to TNA first, before this week's episode. So, last week's episode emanated from the Armory in Minneapolis, Minnesota, home of the Fight Queers, and the Timberwolves, and the Twinkies, who beat the Yankees. It's just what it is. Speaking of baseball, Mets won today. Yes! Take 2 or 3 for the Padres. Get an extra game on Arizona, who is off today. So the Mets are 2 games up on the Reds, who play tonight, I believe, against Chicago. The Cubs. I hope the Cubs sweep them. Big 4-game series there. That has some, oomph to it. If the Reds can, take a couple games from the Cubs. Cubs are already in as the number 4 seed. They won the wild card. They clinched the wild card and the 4th seed. So now it's between, the Mets and the Padres. Mets are 4 games back of the Padres, and they got a big series coming up. Well, not this weekend. Next week with the Dodgers and Arizona. That could determine where the Mets be, but the Mets got a big weekend. They got the Nationals this weekend, and they're always pesky. Then they go to Chicago to face the Cubs. That's going to be tough. And then, even tougher, the end of the season next weekend in Miami against the Marlins, who would love to knock the Mets out, like they did a couple of times in the last few years. Not fun. But Jonathan pitched probably one of his best games so far. The last game he had, he only pitched 2 and 2/3 innings. He stunk really bad. That was his nervous game, basically. Where he was like, I don't know what to do. Just stunk up the joint. But today, he made up for it. Gave up 1 run, even though it was not earned. It was on an error. Whatever. What are you going to do? But Mets win 6-1. Big Pete Alonso with a big dick shot. That's home run for you dumb people at home. Number 37 for Pete. Brandon Fighting Nemo with a 3-run homer. And a big 4-run, I think it was the 3rd or 4th inning. Mets win 6-1. They take 2 or 3 for the Padres. So, right now they're 4 games back to the 5th seed. So if it stays status quo, the Mets will probably go to the LA and face those Dodgers kind of in a NLCS rematch. But Dodgers are tough. Dodgers gonna be tough with the rotation the Mets have right now. I don't like the Mets' chances there. Even with the Padres, if Well, it can't be with the Padres, obviously. Or with the Cubs. Cubs, maybe, they might beat the Cubs. I think they have maybe a slim chance to beat the Cubs, but, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. So, 9 games left, ladies and gentlemen, for baseball, and it's getting nitty-gritty. We already have the Phillies who won the division. The Brewers are up by, I believe, 4 or 5 games, so they might be winning the division pretty soon. The West, between the Padres and the Dodgers, so we'll see what happens with that. Wild card, Cubs are already in as number 4, so they can't go any higher. So I don't think Milwaukee's pretty much about to clinch the Central, and it's between the Mets and the Padres right now. And then you got the Diamondbacks, Giants, Reds, and St. Louis all looking to win those games, and hopefully gonna be discombobulated for the next 9 games. So in the week and a half to go, it's gonna be exciting baseball, and we got that. And for the Yankees, well, probably get the number 4 seed. Well, it's going to be a little bit dull fight for those wild card spots. But right now, I believe the Yankees are up by a game and a half over Houston, and Boston, still lingering around. So right now, it could be Houston and the Yankees. The Yankees get home field. But as we all know, Houston is the Yankees' daddy. So I don't see the Yankees getting out of the first round either. So we'll see. But got a lot of baseball to go. We got about a week to go. Preseason hockey's starting. It's just amazing with the New York Rangers. Got a couple weeks to go before the actual start of the NHL and the league where they play for pain. Not for pay. That's football. In hockey terms, we play for pain. Of course, it's a painful sport. But it is what it is. In basketball, they just play just to play, basically. And baseball, they just play for pay too, I guess, whatever. But we got that, so lots of good stuff coming your way in the next few months. So get ready, playoff baseball, hockey coming back. Week 3 of the NFL starts tonight with the Bisons against Miami. That's going to probably be a slaughter. Miami just sucks right now. See what happens with that. Niners got the home opener on Sunday against Arizona. That's going to be a pretty tough game in Santa Clara. Will Brock Purdy play? Well, we'll see. I think he might back up Mac and Cheese Jones, but we'll see what happens with that. I'd rather start Brock next week. I rest him this week, come back in week 4. I think they play the Rams next week. So I'd rather have him come in another division game, which probably, I think, week 4. But we'll see what happens. What Kyle decides. That's that. Giants got the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. You know the Giants are going to get their butts handed to them. Taylor Swift will probably be in the house. Who cares? That's that. Jets got the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. That game is at 1 o'clock on Fox. And hopefully, in the New York area, we get that San Francisco game. But knowing New York, not always, but not always they play the Niners. Last year, they played a lot of Niner games, which I loved. I didn't even need to fire up the VPN to watch it. But this year, now I have to fire up the VPN sometimes, so it is what it is. Got to fire up Red Zone and the VPN and watch it on the Niners app and all that shit. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, talked enough about sports. Actual sports. Well, wrestling is a sport too, so let's get to that. Alright, TNA Impact Wrestling from last week. Tom Phillips and Matthew Waywalt, otherwise known as in English on commentary. With a pretty decent show. We started up with the September 11th graphic. America! MAGA. That's all pretty much it. Alright, we got the opening recap and the opening sequence. And we start off with our first match of the night. Big, beefy man slapping meat. We got Moose taking on Flop Dollar, AJ Francis. But before the match, Order 4 with Mustafa Ali come out. And Mustafa shakes AJ's hand. Sits in on commentary. And then the match actually wasn't that bad, but still, it is what it is. The Secret Service caused a distraction. I think Agent Zero and a couple other flunkies caused a distraction which really didn't do anything because Moose came right back with that wicked spear of his, and he won in just under 9.5 minutes. So Moose gets to win over Flop Dollar AJ Francis, and then after the match, Moose gets on the mic and challenges Mustafa Ali to a match, but got no answer. So maybe tonight we'll get an answer for that. Not that I want to see Moose and Moose against Mustafa Ali. Ugh. We get that. Alright, then we got the System. They're all ready to take out the Nemeth brothers, Ryan and Nick. Just remember, Nick parks Issa's car perfectly. And Ryan, you need to go to Marco's. I don't want to go! Pussy! We get that. Alright, we move on. Alright, then we go to the treehouse of the Rascals. Trey Miguel, he's there. He's back. Zachary Wentz, I think Myron Reed was there, and Myron Reed is actually now getting married to Killer Kelly, because they have a baby together. What's next? Get married. Pretty much. So they're all back together in the treehouse. They want to win some titles. Then the smoke is it gets really smoky in there, and they can't figure out Jake something's name. Okay. They're high! Cause I got high, cause I got high, cause I got high. Da 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 da. I wanna make love to you, and then I got high. Okay. Exactly. That song is just legendary. Poetry too. We got that. Alright, moving on. Alright, then we get to, oh boy, we have to get to this guy. Say his name and he appears. I believe in below average Joe Hendry. Alright, so below average Joe Hendry takes on Eric Young, or as we call him, Grandpa Eric. Wasn't really a great match. The Northern Armory come out, Travis Williams jumps Joe Hendry before the bell, then we actually get the bell. And then we get some weird false advertising. Okay. But, yeah, he jumps Joe Hendry, and, EY didn't start the match, and then, it goes to, a 3-minute suckfest. Did I say 3-minute suckfest? Yeah. So, Joe Hendry takes on Travis Williams, and basically beats him with an AA. John Cena might have to say something about that. Into the standing ovation, Joe wins in a Stone Cold time of 3:16. By God, Stone Cold! Stone Cold! By God Almighty, Stone Cold! Okay, JR, calm down. Calm down. Well, Slobberknocker! Okay. Thank you. Alright, so he gets the win, boring as fuck match, and then afterwards, he gets out of the ring before Eric Young and Judas Icarus come in, and then EY yells at them and drops them with not one, but two, Power Driver! Thanks for coming. That's pretty much it. Alright, then we're going to look back at the king of TNA, Frankie Kazarian, beating the shit out of Matt fucking Cardona last week, thanks to Ryan. Ryan Nemeth, that is. Look at that. And then we see Matt fucking Cardona telling Ryan to put his nose in don't put his nose in his business again. Or bad things might happen. We get that. Alright, then we get to Victoria Crawford, who we all know as Alicia Fox, who has her own podcast. I guess you might, I guess it's on the TV. I don't know if she has an actual podcast, but whatever. So her first guest is the lovely Gia Miller. We all know what happened with Gia Miller and Victoria Crawford's bestie, that's Ms. Tessa Blanchard, who we don't know where she is these days. Who cares at this point? So anyway, she yells at Gia over getting Tessa Blanchard suspended indefinitely. Gia blames Tessa for her own actions, and Victoria made it worse. So threats of violence, and we love violence here on the show, ensues, and then Jody Threat runs in to break it up, with Alicia Fox bailing to leave Gia Miller pissed. Uh-oh. So, we'll see what happens with that situation. Not that I give two fucks, but we get that. Alright, then we get to a Fatal 4-Way match, where the winner gets an X Division title shot against Leon Slater, who's on commentary, and that's going to happen at Victory Road next week. Well, next week. Jake Something takes on Zachary Wentz, Trey Miguel, and Myron Reed. So basically a 3-on-1 handicap match for a title shot. Great. Anyway, it was a pretty sick match. I was thinking it was elimination. No, actually it was not. Back of what they went, Zachary goes up with the UFO cutter, not like the ghillie cutter, which is more powerful, to Jake Something, but then Trey Miguel pulls him out. And that leaves Myron Reed to hit the 450 on Jake Something. 1, 2, 3, so Myron Reed gets the title shot, and he's like, he did the whole Scooby-Doo. Jeffy, Scooby-Doo. Belma, what are you doing, porn? You know. I don't know. Alright, so Myron Reed against Leon Slater could be a banger next week at Victory Road. We'll see what happens with that. Let me move on. Alright, Jake Something goes to the back. He runs into Frankie Kazarian. And despite the loss in the last match, Kazarian offers him a spot by his side as Frankie goes on to win the Intercontinental title from Steve Maclin. And he's like, you want to finally be something? You'll be my lackey. Why not? Okay. We get that, and we move on. Alright, then we go to the ladies, the knockouts, the sexy knockouts, and we go to Heather by Alliance! With Ash by Elegance, and George the Iceman at ringside. You know, one half of the tag team champions. I think M was there too. She takes on one half of the Iconic! Or the Inspiration! That's Billy Kay or Jesse McKay, whatever you want to call it. 3-minute match. Did I say 3 minutes? Back of what they went. Billy tries for the press release or the gory special. It's all loaded up, but then George the Iceman, also distraction, and Heather then grabs a fruit roll up, and then M by Elegance grabs her feet for the cheap pin. What are you gonna do? So we get that. Then after the match, Peyton Royce, Cassie Lee, gets in the check on her partner, but then she gets jumped, and then he's you son of a gun. He comes in and says, "Oh no, you don't do that. We have a match right now, you son of a gun." So then we get Peyton Royce against M by Alliance. 5-minute match. Nothing great here. Heather gets a cheap shot, but then Billy Kay takes her out, which leaves Peyton Royce to hit a swinging suplex. 1, 2, 3. So, we go right down the middle, daddy. Heather wins, and then Peyton Royce wins. So, each team, the other team member got the win for their respective teams. And we'll see if the Inspiration get another tag team title shot against the Elegance brand. We'll see what happens with that. But great to see that Billy won. Not Billy, sorry, Peyton Royce won. We'll get that. Okay, here we go. Alright, then we go to the Intercontinental Champion Steve Maclin. Talks about standing side by side in the Marines. And now Frankie Kazarian is coming after him, but that's fine with him, who isn't getting through. You're not gonna get through me, Frankie! Pretty much. We got that. Alright, then we go to the back, where the Alliance brand are complaining to you son of a gun, about the upcoming title match against Masha Slamovich. Well, that's Ash, basically. Ash is mad about, why do I have to defend the title against Masha again? So Santana agrees and makes it a no disqualification match and a special guest referee, and that's the beautiful Indy Hartwell. And the Inspiration gets a Knockouts Tag Team title match at Victory Road. So, not going to be a fun night for the Alliance brand. But I do see them probably retaining, then losing at Bound for Glory. To who? Don't know. I was hoping to be Rosemary, but I don't know. Get that. Alright, then we got a recap of the recent TNA issues on NXT. get ready for Tuesday night. This Tuesday night, not the past Tuesday night, but you know what I mean. This Tuesday night is going to be probably one of the best NXTs of this year, maybe of all time, with the possible TNA invasion, but we'll see. And a man that might lead that invasion is Mike Santana. Comes to the crowd for a match with a trick. Willie Shambone, Maku, Maku. Okay, so he jumps him from behind, and security had to break it up. Yeah, great CBS security had to break it up. Great. So we got that. All right, then we get Ryan and Nick Nemeth taking on Eddie Edwards and who was it? Eddie and I didn't shoot. I think it was Eddie and Fandango. Brian Myers. I'm sorry. Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards of the System. Pretty decent match, under 13 minutes. Good near the end, and a quick famouser gives Nick a near fall as both men are down. Then Nick loads up the danger zone. The zigzag gets blocked. Eddie Edwards grabs a blue thunder bomb. But as we all know, if you're not Sami Zayn, you do not get the pin. Ryan had to make the save. And then Order 4, of all people, come out for the distraction, which allowed Nick to hit a super kick into the zigzag on Eddie Edwards. 1, 2, 3. What are we going to do? The Nemeths get the win. Thanks to Order 4. And then after the match, Ryan and Nick's, the Nemeths say, we're getting our tag team title rematch next week against the Hardys. So then, speaking of the Hardys, Broken Matt Hardy, yes! Wonderful! And Jeff Hardy, dude! They come out to end the show for a little stare down. So this week is going to be big. Hardys, Nemeths, tag team titles. And the winner of that pretty much will go on to face the Dudleys in a tables match for those TNA tag team titles. But I think it's going to be the Hardys, so it is what it is. And that's it. And that's it for TNA for last week. Alright, we're going to quickly go to Ring of Honor because we're about a few minutes away from this week's episode. Excuse me. Alright, we're going to get to Ring of Honor Wrestling for this week. I think it was a double show. Wasn't it a double show last week? Or was it the week before? I think it was the week before. I have to check that. But anyway. Alright, so Ring of Honor from last week was dubbed under, was a special show produced by Ring of Honor and Action Wrestling under the name Action Dean 3 in a Tree, which was done, previously done back in May. That was kind of fun. I didn't really care for it, but still, we get that. Alright, we're from the legendary EC Dub Arena. We're still doing the tapings. Obviously, we're going to be doing tapings, I think, this week or after. I think it's after All Out. We got new episodes of Ring of Honor coming your way from wherever. I don't know if it was taped in. Well, it can't be in Philly because they finished that. So it's probably going to be in London, Ontario, where they did the tapings. Or they're going to do tapings this after. I don't know. But we'll see. Moving on. Moving on. Alright, so we start off Ring of Honor. And don't forget, Ian Ricker Boring and the Pasta, my good friend. Caprice Coleman at ringside, giving us the call and everything. Actually, take it back. It wasn't Ian Riccaboni and the Pastor, Caprice Coleman. It was Dylan Hales and Johnny Mosley from, I guess, Action Wrestling. I've heard Johnny Mosley's name. I completely forget. I've heard his name before. I'm thinking maybe he's a TV guy, but whatever. Anyway. Alright, so we started with a 6-man luchador match. Comes Anthony Gillespie. Are you doing a great 6-man tag team match? I say, pero I guess you like Worlds Collide number 2 as well, did you? Oh, I loved it. I see Dominic Guerrero, my friend. He won the AAA Mega title. What do you think of Mr. Iguana and Yeska fighting your other good friend, Demonito? I beat Diminito every day, S.A. Pedro. He's a piece of shit. Yeska? Oh, yes. Yeska. He's my friend, too. I bet. Anyway, you know who's not your friend? Osito. Okay. He hates Osito. Don't get started. No. Alright, so we had Hikesaro, so Hua, and Dr. Cerebro. No, not from X-Men. Takes on Blue Panther, I think Senior. Virus, or Virus, I guess Virus. Cyrus? No. Not Cyrus the Virus, but Virus or Virus. And El Pantera, which means the Panther. So we had Blue Panther and another Panther. Feels like Pantera. Oh shit. Pantera. Good band. Big ups to you, sir! Dimebag! And you, Vinnie Paul, get your pull! Oh yeah. They're two cowboys from hell! They're not in hell, but they're up there. Hanging out with Randy Rhoads, and some of the other great guitar players. Eddie Van Halen. Just jamming up there, man. Jamming. With Ozzy and some of the others. You know, Randy Rhoads and... Let me kill myself from Motorhead, we play rock and roll! I know what you're doing up there. You're rocking out with your cock out, right? Alright. Yeah, exactly. GOP. Oh, stop! None of that now. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so... this was a 2 out of 3 falls match, actually. Interesting. So the first fall went to Zelhua's team as he ties Virus almost in a reverse cross arm breaker. Ouch. Tapped out for the first fall. And then the second fall went to Blue Panther's team as Virus dropkicks Dr. Cerebro into a Eddie Galeno frog splash. Well, not Eddie Guerrero-like, but, you know. Yeah, nobody can hit it better than me, I say. Okay, thank you, Eddie. In a frog splash from Pantera, and Pantera ties Zelhua's arms and legs up, damn, like a pretzel, for the submission, so he tapped out, so it's 1-1, going into the third and final fall, which lasted a little over 6+ minutes. Lots of chaos. Blue Panther dies on the Hikesaro on the floor, leaving Pantera to crawl to the ropes. And back inside, Pantera sunset flips Hikesaro, which means hurry nothing. So, because he was not the legal man. But anyway, Hikesaro ties up all 4 limbs this time, and we get another submission win. So I'm feeling like I'm watching pretzels get made because everybody's getting tied up. All right, so Hikesaro's team gets the win. Pretty good match to start. 20 minutes officially. Great match to start. Ring of Honor TV. Alright, then we go to the ladies. We have some chick named Nicole Matthews. No relation to other people that name, Kevin Matthews or anybody that's last name is Matthews. Not even Corey Matthews from Boy Meets World. But anyway, Nicole Matthews takes on my girl, Billy Starks. And commentary points out that Billy is reckless, even as she grabs a head scissors. And they kind of went back and forth for the next few minutes. We're getting to the end, a brain buster gets in the fall by Nicole Matthews, but she missed the moonsault. No water in the pool for you, missy. And then Billy kicks her in the head. Ow. Then hits the electric chair driver. 1, 2, 3. Billy Starks gets the win. And as always, that makes me very happy. Billy should be Women's World Champion by now. She was the inaugural Women of Honor TV champion, as we all know. But now she's basically, once again, Athena's lackey. Minion, whatever you want to call him. That's that. Alright, moving on. Alright, then we get to the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara, and Bruce. They're now the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. So they're there with the rest of La Facción de Ignobles, that's Calistico and the Beast, Mortas. They're ready for everybody. Everybody, I say. And as Rich would say, you mess with the bull, I say. You get the horns. Pretty much. Pretty much. I pretty much do a great Roosh impersonation. Biddle! Get that. Alright, moving on. After that little segment. Alright, then we get to Matt Mako. We know him a little bit. If you don't know him, he's a indie guy. Why not? He takes on the useless one, William Utah, with Marina Shafir at ringside. Oh, they had a little... I like Marina's thing last night with her husband, Roddy, on Dynamite last night. That was kind of interesting. It's like... And, you know, Marina's like, yeah. Come on, Roddy, come on. Roddy's like, I don't want to do it. I love you so much. I don't want to do it. And then out of nowhere, Moxley, right in the throat. Marina's like, oh, fuck, dude. It's my husband, you bitch. Shut up, you know. Alright, so this match went on for under 12 minutes, back and forth. Even William Yuta even locked in cattle mutilation, and Matt Mako somehow escaped. Mako then sends William Useless into the corner, where William Useless takes the turnbuckle pad off. Because William Yuta is the type of guy that doesn't play by the rules, and he gets caught doing it. Moving on. Alright, so we get near the end of the match. Mako hits a kick to face. That gets showed up by William Useless, and William Yuta hits a German suplex for a near fall. To go up top, Matt Mako flips William Yuta into a cross arm breaker. That was very nice. And then Marina Shafir, also a distraction, because, you know, William Yuta is the type of guy that needs help, and he only has one friend. Which allowed William Yuta to do a Roddy Piper, go to the eyes, then the running knee, do the Psycho knee. 1, 2, 3, hey, William Yuta gets the win. Big fucking whoop. I didn't care. Then he goes to the outside and gets into an argument with a fan who was a plant, obviously. He wasn't a real fan. But you were fired by now. But we get that. Anyway, moving on. Alright, then we get a video on the Premier Athlete's newest acquisition, Sori Denali. She's big. She's like tall, not 7 feet tall, like big cast, but she is tall. She's from an indie promotion. I've seen some tape of her. She's very good, very strong. Not like China, like Bailey Humphries is like getting, from LFG, Bailey Humphries is basically the next China, they're saying. She's big, she's strong, not like China strong, but you know. I don't think anybody could be like you, China. Joni, you know, exactly, yeah. Nobody can be better than my mamacita ese pero. I know, Eddie. Nobody can be finer than China. Oh, you're very funny, ese pero. Alright, guys, calm down. Sorry. Alright, moving on. Alright, so we're gonna see Soli Denali, or Sari Denali, Soli Denali, and coming up in a few weeks on Ring of Honor TV. Alright, the Fox on the Ignobles on a meaningless 6-man tag team match come up next against the legendary Cheeseburger, Red Titus, Addicted to Love, and Eli Isom. Some old school, you know, Ring of Honor alums. I think Eli and Cheeseburger were a tag team back then. I could be wrong on that. Alright, so anyway, Sammy Guevara drops the Swanton Bomb on Eli to get the win, and I didn't give a fuck. And then after the match, Sammy gets on the mic, gets booed out of the building, but he talks about how great the Fox on the Ignobles is, and they want to win more titles. Meaning, I guess, the TV title, the 6-man tag team titles. I think that, SCP has a 6-man tag team titles. It's probably be the 6-man tag team titles, the TV title, and the world title, and maybe the pure title. So they want all of the silver, not gold, it's silver. Can't call it gold anymore because Ring of Honor it's too cheap to get gold. It is what it is. We move on with that. Alright, not speaking of that. Lee Johnson says the swirl with him and Blake Christian is... Oh, no. I have to say it. Mike! What? Get in here for a second. Ah, okay. All right, hurry up! I gotta go back to the bar for a second. All right, got a lady there. Oh, hi. How you doing? Yeah, he'll be right back. All right, make it quick. The Swirl said they're awesome. Who the fuck is the Swirl? This tag team of Blake Christian, he calls himself the Vanilla Midget or something like that, and Lee Johnson, they call himself the Swirl. That's the most crappiest tag team I ever seen. You know, if I was alive today, I'd go to Ring of Honor and beat these two hammer niggers up and drop them to a freaking table. Because I'm awesome. I'm awesome. I'm more awesome than The Miz, that piece of shit. Should be in the Hall of Fame. I should be in the Hall of Fame, not him. I don't think he's ever going to be in the Hall of Fame anytime soon, Mike. I think you should get to be for him. Yeah, because I'm awesome. I know. Alright, go back to your lady. Take care of him. Don't, if anything happens, you call me, okay? I'll take care of her, Gilmore. Don't worry about it. Okay. You have fun. Have a good night, and put your Jimmy hat on if you're, Don't go all extreme on that. Push it in, Mike. Be easy. Anyway, moving on. Alright, then we go to some action wrestling match. I guess this is sponsored by Action Wrestling. Dimas El Demonico. I guess some little demon, I don't know. Takes on Mad Dog Conley. That's a nice name. Mad Dog. Not Chris Mad Dog Russo, but, Mad Dog. Mad Dog McFly? No, not McFly. Mad Dog, Biff Tannen. Remember that Back to the Future 3? Hey, McFly! You and me, McFly. 8 o'clock. I like to get my killing in after breakfast. 7:30. I like to get my killing in before breakfast. Hey, McFly! 10 paces! And shoot. Get out of here, McFly! Or you yellow! He's an asshole! Comes from a line of assholes! Not today, I'm not feeling it! What are you, yellow? What's that mean? It means he forfeits, you win, by default. Hey, you can't do that! Ridiculously stupid movie. It had some good one-liners in it, but I never liked Back to the Future 3 at all. I was hoping for a fourth one to make up for it, but no. I don't think we'll ever make up for that abysmal Part 3. Bit horrible. It was just bad. Moving on. Alright, so anyway, this match I didn't really give two fucks about. A cradle pump driver gives Mad Dog a near fall, but gets caught with a kneeling, wow, muscle buster for the same. That's interesting. A kneeling muscle buster. Anyway, Demus ties a chain around Mad Dog's neck, chokes him over the ropes for the 1, 2, 3. Oh, for the tap out, obviously. But wouldn't that constitute a rope break? I don't know how the rules in Action Wrestling are. I don't watch it. I don't know it. Don't care. And then after the match, I think, it was a hair versus hair match. That's why. Okay, I get it. Conley has a bad eye. Because he's Mad Dog. Alright, so Demus El Demonico gets the win. And after the match, he goes to cut Mad Dog's hair, but Mad Dog's like, no, I'll do it. He's cue ball Conley now. He's not Mad Dog, he's bald as fuck Conley. Like I said, I don't know who the fuck he is. And I don't care. We move on. Alright, then we get a video for the Pure title. And speaking of the Pure title, we got a big banger match. Former Pure champion in his own right, Josh the Goods Woods, takes on the current champion of almost a little over a year now, Mr. Lee Moriarty. And don't forget the Pure rules, 3 rope breaks, you can't use your fist, because if you use a punch, you get a warning. And then the next one, you get I think you use a rope breaker, you get disqualified. But this was an actually pretty good match. Border City stretched by Lee Moriarty. They go to the ropes. Woods has to use his first rope break. And then a knee bar by Josh the Goods Woods makes Lee Moriarty use his first rope break. Then they trade arm bars. They get back up. Woods hits a release good buster. But Lee Moriarty uses the ropes to block a fisherman's buster. I think that's his second break. Then Josh, with a gut-wrench suplex, counted into a hurricanrana to the floor. Crazy fall by another armbar. Woods uses his rope break. Moriarty comes right back with a springboard forearm for a near fall. Then a cross arm breaker into a triangle choke. Has Woods in trouble until he power bumps his way out. That lets Josh Woods cover him for the 3 count. But Lee Moriarty's foot was underneath the ropes. I watched, I was like, wait a minute. Are we going back to Final Battle again? When Nigel had the title won, but Lee Moriarty's foot was underneath the rope or on the rope? Anyway, so Lee Moriarty had to use his final rope break to save the match and the title. Then the exchange of fruit roll-ups goes to Lee Moriarty, who retains the pure title, not in the greatest way, but still a pretty decent match, and that's it. So Lee Moriarty, still your reigning, defending, pure champion. Speaking of champions, Shane Taylor Promotions come out. Shane Taylor and the captain, Sean Dean, and Golden Bobo, the 6-man tag team champions. They come out to celebrate. Shane Taylor himself wants a fight with someone from Action Wrestling, but instead, A.R. Fox comes out. I'm like, oh boy. So they have a pretty decent match, and the match ended in Make-A-Wish time, 5:55. 5:55. 8675309. 555-4444. That's an actual number, by the way. 555-4444. Not my number, but my number's way different than that. Way different. Not even in the area code. But I digress. Moving on. Alright, so, Fox gets thrown onto the barricade. Ow. But then Shane Taylor gets a jumping Gilmore Casa. Bang! Followed by Mr. A.R. Fox, followed by a swanton for a near fall on the inside of the ring. And then Shane Taylor got up, boom, punched him right in the face, knocked A.R. Fox the fuck out, and he gets the win in 5:55. Make-A-Wish. And that's that. Alright, so Shane Taylor gets the win. And that's the main event. So, not a bad Ring of Honor. So TNA, I gave 7 out of 10 stars. Ring of Honor, I'll give 6.5 out of 10 stars. But let me know what you motherfuckers thought of the show in a comment down below. And, like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's what we're going to do when we leave a comment and all that shit. But don't leave stupid comments, because I will not entertain it and not care for it. I will delete it and then probably block you. But it is what it is. Alright, so once again, 7 out of 10 stars for TNA last week. And 6.5 out of 10 stars for Ring of Honor last week as well. So we'll see what happens this week. We're 15 minutes into the TNA. I will watch the rest of the show online, try to catch up. And then probably, hopefully this weekend, because I'm a little bit busy tomorrow and Saturday with WrestlePalooza and All Out. We'll talk about that. Later tonight, I will be doing my a Dynamite review. I'm going to do a Dynamite review first, because I got to get that, because it coincides with All Out. So I'm going to do Dynamite and Collision, which September to really, September to forget, because last night's show from AEW was garbage, even though it did 686,000 views for a horrible show. Go figure that one out. But still, the show was garbage for 3 hours. So we're going to talk about that in the AEW review coming up a little bit later. Hopefully before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to try to get the All Out predictions on episode 85 of the Shadow Slayer series, and then probably Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, we'll do episode 86 of the Shadow Slayer My WrestlePalooza review, and then late Saturday night, actually we'll do SmackDown review on Friday, and then Saturday we'll do, after WrestlePalooza goes off the air, we'll talk about All Out, and then Sunday, hopefully early Sunday, we'll talk about WrestlePalooza review, and then probably late Sunday night, we'll talk about TNA and Ring of Honor and get you ready for next week's list. Next week's shows and everything. Because next week is another pay-per-view week. We got No Mercy from NXT next week. The NXT Invasion possibly on Tuesday. The aftermath of All Out on AEW TV on Wednesday and next Saturday. Then the baseball playoffs will start, and Collision. I don't think Collision. I think Collision will be okay. We'll see what happens with that. But Dynamite in October, there's going to be some Dynamites that might be on Tuesday nights because of the playoffs. So we're going to get an NXT/TNA/AEW war on a couple of Tuesdays in October, as the playoffs will start, obviously, we know that. And then November, we'll be back on TBS on this normal time slot. But we'll see what they announce when when they're gonna do with Dynamite. And that's that. Alright guys, I am out of here. Thanks for watching, and until next time. If you're not down with all that, well, I got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man! And that's it. Until next time. Peace. I don't know why I did that, but... 3, we'll see! No. Peace, bitches.